Are there challenges and opportunities to implementing an MSD program across multiple countries? That's the topic for today. Hello, welcome to this special episode. And in this episode, we're focusing on a particular program across multiple countries. As a matter of fact, the program started with implementing one program across 12 countries, but it's now down to 11. But I'll allow the program manager to introduce the program and introduce all of the potential opportunities and challenges that he has faced in implementing this program. Welcome, Paolo.
Hello, Al. Thanks for having us and for giving us the opportunity of presenting Reconomy in your program. It's a privilege to be here with you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For our audience, it'd be really good if you can give us, first of all, introduce yourself, and then Reconomy, especially focusing on the type of programming it is and how many countries that you're implementing this program across.
Very well. I'll try to be brief. It's usually a bit of a long story to explain everything. So my name is Paulo Rodrigues. I'm the program manager of Reconomy. I am based in Zurich, Switzerland, and yes, and Reconomy is a program of the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA for short, that is implemented by the organization that I work for, that is Helvetia Swiss Intercorporation, an international NGO based here in Switzerland that has extensive experience in implementing development programs and projects across the world. Helvetia is present in the different continents, working in America, Latin America mostly, working in Africa, in Asia, and as well in Eastern Europe, where our program Reconomy is being implemented. So, in short, to answer your question, Reconomy is an economic development program that we're implementing across 11 countries. As you said in your introduction, initially it was planned to be implemented in 12 countries with the full-fledged invasion of Ukraine. Activities in Belarus have been halted, have been stopped, and we're implementing it now in 11 countries. 6 countries in the Western Balkans that are not part of the European Union, and 5 countries in the Eastern Partnership region, 2 in Eastern Europe, Ukraine and Moldova, and then 3 more in the South Caucasus, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. So, to go quickly into what we're doing, we are an MSD, a Market Systems Development program that aims at creating inclusive, sustainable economic opportunities to women and youth, including those of disadvantaged backgrounds. Now, I think the way we do this is a bit special, of course, because we're working in so many countries, and we have obviously a regional focus to what we do. But focus on the thematic aspect. We work along the labor market continuum, if you would like to call it like that. So we work on skilling the labor force, preparing labor force to enter the market under better conditions, strengthening the capacity of the labor force. We're working also on private sector development, supporting companies in the private sector in providing better conditions for the labor force to enter the job market, and ultimately also working on the influence spheres, on advocacy, working with sectoral associations, with chambers of commerce, with business representatives to advocate, to lobby for better regulatory frameworks for the different sectors to work. So we do this with a logic of having a holistic approach to development and trying to cover all aspects around the development of this labor market continuing that I was speaking at the beginning.
No, thank you very much for that introduction. So I want to focus on the complexity because I don't want people to take this for granted. So you're implementing an MSD program in labor market across 11 countries. And the question that pops to mind is, are the context of these 11 countries exactly the same? Are the issues around labor market, especially when it comes to the inclusion of youth, are they the same? And I mean, in my mind, I just assume that there'll be so many different contextual issues that will mean that interventions, you can't have a common intervention across those 11 countries. Or perhaps I'm wrong.
Well, you're wrong and you're right at the same time. It's a paradox, but many things in life are a bit like that. Contexts are definitely very different. There is geographic, regional tensions. There's a war involved. We're implementing the program also in Ukraine. But there has been a war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. There are tensions in Bosnia and Herzegovina. There are tensions between Kosovo and Serbia. There are problems between recognition of states with Kosovo, for example. So the region obviously is very heterogeneous. Contexts are very different, and we need to work with that and understand that and be sensitive to these cultural differences and have a strong focus also on conflict sensitivity in our program management, and that's something that we take obviously very seriously. Now, having said that, there are also similarities and there are also upsides, and I think that Europe has proven throughout the years that cooperation between countries is a magnificent path for development. We see the example of the European Union that has provided economic development, social development for the populations in Europe with very good results, with obviously difficulties along the way, with obviously problems as well, but in general terms with very good results in terms of economic development, at least. Now, throughout our program analysis and preparation for the different projects that we are implementing, we try to understand what are the similarities and what are the added value that regionality can bring to specifically some sectors. We have seen throughout the past, for example, the presentation of the Western Balkans as a region for the development of the ICT BPO sector as a nearshoring region for companies in Europe to outsource some of their business processes has had very interesting results for the region in terms of employment, in terms of economic opportunities and economic development. So that's one clear example of how presenting the different countries from a regional lens can bring economic advantage for the individual countries. And that's what we build upon, and we try to find these similarities, we try to find these commonalities across different sectors, and then explore them, and then work together with market actors to explore these synergies and to translate them into economic development, economic opportunities to our target group.
That's just incredible, and that's brilliant. But I want to try and focus on the key steps of the program in itself, because I mean, there's a lot of issues around governance of the program. There's a lot of issues in terms of designing a common intervention across these different countries, and then there's the idea that you can leverage initiatives from some sort of like the European Union, for instance, is fantastic. But for a professional like myself, if I work in a single country, it's fairly easy to design interventions, to design how my teams are structured to deliver those those interventions. What were the particular challenges for you as a multiple country program in one deciding on the interventions and the priorities that you give the interventions, especially when you're thinking in terms of the 11 countries? And how have you organized your team uh, to be able to deliver on those implementation, sorry, on those intervention, and I don't know, measure and and get some sort of result or impact?
Well, there's different dimensions. I'm not sure I will be able to answer fully your question, but please feel free to also follow up if you feel like I didn't touch on any of the points that you had in mind. But so I think a lot of it comes from the mindset. You know, the mindset needs to be on regionality from the beginning. So when you're doing your market systems analysis, when you're doing your initial research into identifying entry points for your development practices, you need to already have this regional element in consideration. So this means you look already into the different countries, into the different sectors from a regional perspective, compare what's going on in terms of agriculture in Albania, in Kosovo, in Macedonia, in Serbia, and you try to find the common aspects in terms of the key problems, the key bottlenecks for the development of a given sector across these different countries. Then when you do your stakeholder mapping and when you understand which actors you're going to engage, you also try to understand what are the commonalities between national actors. You try to understand, are there actors that are already working at a regional level? What are the potential benefits that could bring from creating or supporting the creation of structures that allow these different actors to exchange on a regional level, and then leverage this, you know, this initial interest, this initial capacity. As MSD practitioners, we've all learned, and we talked about the skill-will matrix, or in understanding, you know, which are the actors that have the adequate set of skills to work at a regional level, which are the actors that have the motivation, the incentives to work on a regional level as well, and then selecting your partners, selecting your engagements based on this premise. So I would say that from a thematic perspective, regionality needs to be at the core from the get-go and from the beginning, and you need to design all your interventions to understand commonalities from the beginning, and then address them also from the beginning. I feel like the screen has froze. I don't know if you can still hear me, Al.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Yes.
Okay, so I can
Yeah.
I can start from there.
Yeah.
So regarding the governance aspect, it's definitely difficult to manage a program across 11 countries. We have our team spread over 8 of these 11 countries, and here it is only a possibility for us to implement this project due to the extensive expertise and previously established capacity of our organization. So Helveta's already had a presence in these countries. There are local offices where our staff can be based. We have all our country national governance systems already in place, and then we added a layer of complexity on top of those national offices, and it worked. We have in a way all had a test of fire in a way with COVID and with hybrid methodologies of work. We just continued that in the aftermath of COVID, and and it's working quite well for us. We do have extensive traveling involved in our program. There is we try to conjugate spaces where we come together online and we share, and we have frequent meetings online. We have our guidelines for adequate communication online and how we like to establish ourselves as a team online, but simultaneously we obviously also coordinate in person quite frequently, and we have our team spaces where we do, besides work, strategically reviewing our operations, of looking into the different projects, of discussing the path forward. We also have moments where we just come together as a team, and we try to build our team dynamics outside of work as well, and we try to conjugate also into physical spaces, work and leisure, where we can get to know ourselves also individually and personally, and with that have this team dynamic that is so important, also created and fostered. And yes, it is definitely not easy. It is only possible, I believe, to implement a program across the different countries on one aspect because of what I said of the pre-existing capacity of the organization to accommodate us, but then also a tremendous level of adaptability, of flexibility from the team that is willing, that is very, very passionate about the work that we're doing. And in that regard, I'm a very lucky team leader in a way, because I don't need to put a lot of effort into motivating the team to work on this, because they are 100% behind the program that we are implementing. They believe in it deeply, and they dedicate themselves very, very much to making Reconomy a success. We have, if I can name also a third factor that allows for the successful implementation of a regional program like ours, is then the careful selection of the market actors. When I came before, when I mentioned that the regionality embedded in the things that we do from the beginning, it's also very important that we find like-minded market actors that think in the same way as we do, that consider the same things that we do, and with that that have the same logic in terms of regional development, of regional exchange, and that's very, very important. It's crucial that market actors are like-minded, and that they believe in the change as much or more, hopefully, than we do as Reconomy.
Fantastic. No, thanks for that. I want to just drill down on one specific issue around the team and how the team is organized. I know in some multiple programs multiple country programs that I've come across, what they tend to do is walk through implementing partners inside of those programs, right? But it appears that what you've done in Reconomy is actually recruit people, because Habitat has presence in all of these countries, recruit people specifically to deliver this program. Are there specific skills, aside from the technical skills, that you look for in your staff when you are recruiting to implement across all of these programs? And a quick one on top of that is to say, do you have an intervention manager that looks after a particular intervention streams across those countries, or do you have each country with each intervention manager in a particular intervention?
So let me start with explaining a bit our structure. So Reconomy has both modalities. We're implementing at the moment 10 projects across different sectors, and 4 of these 10 projects are implemented through an implementing partner. And I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to pause for a moment because there seems to be a problem with the booking of the room. Just a moment. So let me maybe restart the answer to my question, to your question. So let me explain you a bit the logic of Reconomy in this regard. We have 2 modalities in terms of the implementation of the 10 projects that we are implementing. We have 10 projects in different sectors, in different with different partners that we implement, and 4 of these 10 projects are implemented through an implementing partner, and 6 are implemented directly by our team. Now, as it is, we do have a very flat structure in Reconomy. We have a policy of having constant communication, constant coordination through the different elements of the team. We have 28 people in the team that are responsible for the implementation of these 6 projects and for overseeing and supporting our implementing partners in the implementation of the other 4. But you asked me about characteristics of the team and what I look in our team members when hiring for working in Reconomy, and how does the intervention managers, what is their focus. So intervention managers and program officers that we have always have a regional focus as well, and they are not dedicated specifically to a given country. So if we hire someone to be based in Armenia, this person has responsibility for the implementation of a given project across the region, across the five countries. And now what we feel we need from people when they come to our team is obviously a very good understanding of market systems, of labor market, of understanding how we can promote economic opportunities for our target group. And aside from the technical aspects, I think it's very important that these people have a very strong entrepreneurial mindset, and that they are very much interested in the cause, wanting to do more, being creative, curious, asking people questions, talking, extroverted, outgoing, and having the capacity of motivating others to take risks, to try out new things, to pilot things for as small as they are, for assessment from the pilots and continuing. So I think this entrepreneurial mindset is really key, and it's always something that we look in the people that work with us.
I am so grateful that you listed out those characteristics, and it's such an unfortunate thing that we don't have that much time, because I would have loved to go into the private sector development approach that you have, especially when you're talking about presenting opportunities across 11 countries to a particular partner. But maybe we'll catch up some other time. I would just like to say thank you very much, Paulo Rodriguez, and well done to you and your Reconomy team, because you're setting the standard for the rest of the sector, especially MSD programs. How this can be done across multiple countries, and across 11 countries is incredible, with all the complexities of war and social strife in those countries that you work in. So thank you very much for coming on and talk to us about all of this, and hopefully we can have you back to talk to us about the private sector development part of your programming.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for the opportunity as well, Al. And from our side at Reconomy, we also have a very strong focus on learning, on knowledge generation, knowledge sharing. I think it's very important that we all cooperate as a sector to diffuse a bit the common problems that we have across development projects. And I'm very happy to come here today to talk with you. And I know that from my team, and to give you the specifics on different projects, I think the team would also be very, very happy. They're always very motivated to talk and to share the experiences that we have. So we're very much open to joining you some other time and to bringing more experiences from our side. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And I certainly will be reaching out to you and to see if we can even have a couple of your program managers or project managers to be on there so we can discuss a particular aspect of your implementation. Thank you to you. Thank you to your team. Thank you to Reconomy. And thank you to the audience for watching this. And I'm hoping that you would have picked up a lot of tips on exactly what it is to do when you're implementing across multiple countries. Regional mindset is the key, flexibility, adaptability, and more importantly, you have to have a team that's really motivated to deliver the difficulties and the challenges across this region. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.